Explaining every pay-to-win mechanic in Brawl Stars. Skins. Wait, what? Skins? Aren't skins just for looks, you might be asking? And for the most part, you'd be right. Skins in Brawl Stars are mainly cosmetic, meaning they don't directly change gameplay. They are one of the few reasons why Brawl Stars stays pretty free-to-play friendly compared to other mobile games. However, there have been certain skins that have offered more than just the visual upgrade, and have actually given players a small competitive edge. For example, the Pirate Doug skin had a bug where it healed you for twice the usual amount. And take the Hank skin. Its design allows you to hide your teammates, giving you an unexpected little advantage. So while skins aren't meant to be pay to win, there have been a few instances where they have influenced the games in ways they weren't supposed to. Early access. This is probably the most blatant pay to win mechanic in Brawl Stars. Basically how it works is, when Supercell releases a new brawler, they initially lock it behind a paywall. Now these paywalls can be pretty expensive, sometimes costing up to $30. And coincidentally, these new brawlers also happen to be incredibly broken at launch. So you can probably see the problem here. Supercell releases a super strong brawler, and players who are willing to spend money and buy it early dominate everyone else and rack up trophies fast before the brawler is eventually balanced. Buying resources in the shop. This one's pretty straightforward. Buying gems and coins from the shop is one way to pay to win, but this strategy has terrible value. The cost for what you get is really high, so the only people who do this are probably the pay to win whales or a clueless kid with their mom's credit card. Shop offers. This one is kinda self-explanatory. Shop offers are special deals that give you better value than buying coins or gems directly. However, something a little sneaky that Supercell does is that Supercell tailors these offers based on the player. For free-to-play players, they'll often present better deals to tempt them into spending money. On the flip side, players who have spent money tend to get less valuable offers because Supercell knows they're more likely to make a purchase anyways. In a way, this is a form of price discrimination, where Supercell adjusts prices based on the player's demands, which should theoretically boost Supercell's profits. Brawl Pass. This one might piss some of you guys off if you're still angry at the change. A while back, Supercell made it so the Brawl Pass can only be purchased with real money. The Brawl Pass gives you the best value for your dollar compared to other purchases, so this change hit free-to-play players hard. However, what Supercell did was they balanced things by increasing rewards for free-to-play players. So basically, Supercell just inflated the in-game economy, making it seem like pay-to-win players were getting more value for their money. But in reality, the relative gap between what pay-to-win players and free-to-play players receive isn't as big as it appears. Hypercharges. So as I talked about in the last section, Supercell basically inflated the in-game economy by giving everyone more free stuff. But of course, Supercell couldn't just let players buy a ton of stuff without adjusting the system. So naturally, they raised the cost of progression, and hypercharges are a prime example of that. At 5,000 coins each, hypercharges are incredibly expensive, but they're also extremely overpowered, instantly boosting certain brawlers from lower tiers to S tier levels upon release. This makes it feel like pay-to-win players who can afford hypercharges gets a huge advantage in battles, while free-to-play players are stuck grinding for resources. It's also an example of Supercell increasing the price of progression after inflating the economy. Overall, I think this creates a massive structural problem in Brawl Stars. As Supercell keeps giving players more free rewards to keep them happy, they also have to raise the cost of progression to maintain the balance. The cycle leads to even more in-game inflation. The more free stuff players get, the more Supercell has to increase the price of upgrades and progression, creating a loop that makes the game feel increasingly pay to win over time. Power 11. Here's another example of Supercell raising the cost of progression. When the max power level was raised a few years back, it caused massive backlash from the community. The sudden hike in progression costs made it much harder for players to max out their brawlers, frustrating both free-to-play players and even some pay-to-win players. This change is another clear sign of how Supercell has continually increased the price of progression, making the grind steeper for everyone.